Hey, YouTube. Well, it seems like forever since we talked about Queen Sugar. It's only been actually 2 weeks, though. So, I'm here to talk about Queen Sugar. Forgive the reflection in my glasses. I'm still working in the dark here. Okay, Nova. First thing happened is Nova gets a phone call. She's been shortlisted for the National Book Award, which is like a big award. It's national. Octavia, she's in a room with Octavia, her current girlfriend, who was actually her professor, who they had a love affair with when she was, I assume, when she was a teenager. She couldn't be much older than that. She was in college. Anyway, this Octavia has joined her on this book tour. Charlie, based on some comment that Octavia makes, they leave us with a puzzled look on her face, like she's just coming to the realization that this woman is not really happy for me, right? And when Octavia hugs her in congratulations, the camera shows Octavia looking not very happy that this woman had gotten this award. I think the idea is basically Octavia is jealous of Nova. She considers herself an intellectual. Apparently, she's written several books herself, and now she's seeing that her student is getting all of this attention and now even being shortlisted for the National Book Award, which is like one of the best books in the country. Okay? Next thing we see is Ralph, Darla, and Blue have decided to seek, Ralph and Darla have decided to seek family counseling concerning Blue and this new information, right? So they meet. Blue says through his doll, what's the doll named Kenya? Kenya says that my daddy's not really my daddy, kind of thing, right? And they kind of then get Blue out of the room, and the counselor asks these guys, Ralph and Darla, to write a list of their dreams for Blue. Now, I guess this list is supposed to mean something like, my dream would be that he would go to college. Ralph's idea might be that he would come to work on the farm, but maybe he would take over the farm at some point. That could be an example of what he would hope for the child. But I'm just thinking, I'm not a therapist or anything, but I'm just thinking at some point they'll bring these lists together and see where that they are in agreement. And I would imagine that, because they do show us later on Ralph's list, or the first thing he put on his list, which is Blue's college. They're going to agree on that, no doubt. Like that. Okay? That's an exercise that the counselor is giving them. Charlie kicks off her campaign. She puts the whole family to work, passing out flyers, including Mr. Prosper and all the people who support her. She hasn't made a formal announcement. They're preparing for a formal announcement now. But the guys are already passing out flyers for her big rally or something like that. Lady Genevieve, this is this older black lady who knew Prosper when they were younger. Her brother has died. Now she's in town because her brother has died. Well, they have a history, her and Prosper, right? And every time the name Lady Genevieve comes up, Prosper gets this smile on his face. And now we see she's smiling as well. So apparently they had a thing back in the day, and now they're being reunited. She's come there to volunteer her services on the campaign as well. Okay? Hollywood and Vi are having problems in the bedroom. Vi just can't get herself into it, and he cannot take care of his business because he can sense her tension, or that she's not really into it, right? So they're being kind of sexually dysfunctional at this moment. The problem is this Jimmy Dale thing. Apparently that's really ignited some stuff with her. She remains scarred from this relationship. We've never gotten exactly what happened between them, but apparently Jimmy Dale was an extremely abusive person. What that has to do with her sex life? Maybe they had a crazy sex life. Maybe they reminded her of something. Maybe she's comparing. We don't know what's going on in her head, but she's not happy about it, whatever it is, right? Mike and his girlfriend, they're still having problems. I don't even remember what their problem was. I forget the girl's name. Sorry about that. But Micah and his girlfriend, they're still having problems. The only thing I can remember of them having problems about was that he got in this fight because somebody had insulted him, or he felt insulted about his new look. Anyway, she's not forgiving him for that. But I don't remember anything between them personally. She just took offense to the fact he was fighting. Right. Which maybe he had a right to be fighting. I don't know. That's how she sees it. Anyway, so those two are barely getting along. Charlie, at the request of her boyfriend, goes to meet with the Latin community. Right. This is like a big outdoor event, and their leader or their pastor is not very excited about Charlie running for councilwoman, or at least he's not aware of her ever stepping foot in their community, and so he is reluctant. Right? Let me see. Let's just say skeptical on their first meeting. But she goes there. She still has a good time. She doesn't seem to take it to heart that she hasn't won people over automatically. She dances there with the doctor. It's like an outdoor event. And they leave it at that. That's the first meeting. Okay. This guy's the pastor, but he's also a community organizer or leader in their community. Someone that their community respects to speak for them. Nova, okay. Nova's at a party, and she hears this Octavia. Some students or young people, I don't know if they're not students. Some people are speaking to Octavia about their plan to offer Nova a job editing this big deal, whatever, some books coming out, and they feel like she would be the perfect person to edit these things. The writer is an editor. Editor is a very prestigious position in certain circles, right? They can change they can really change the whole book. So they feel like she's competent to do that. Octavia says, oh, no, she's not nearly competent for that. But I just happen to be looking for a new project. So Nova overhears this. He overhears her putting her down for the position and then offering up herself instead. So now Nova, her mind is made up. Because she's already suspected this woman is jealous of her and doesn't have her best interest at heart. The woman inserted herself. She volunteered to bring herself on this tour with her. And Nova is beginning to realize that this is only for self-promotion. Octavia is jealous of this book success she's having. And she's trying to get a position for herself. So they're now, where there was student, teacher, lover, now that is her direct competition in the eyes of Octavia. Okay. Next thing happened is Hollywood arrives with a motorcycle. So this is his bucket list. Apparently he's always wanted a motorcycle, but I said, I'm not getting on that thing. So they go to talk about what she's figured out with the help of her doctor. And she's asking Hollywood it's going to take a little time. Letting him know that it was, in fact, Jimmy Dale showing up just kind of messed with her head. It's heavy drama, but it's something that's serious to her. We don't know. Jimmy Dale left, right? So he's out of the picture. I think Hollywood would kick his ass if he came back. But somehow or other, just seeing him again ignites a lot of memories. And let's not forget that Nova had interviewed him for this book, and brought him to town. But I believe Nova said she didn't include his chapter She knew it would be too painful for Vi. That's where they're at. That's why she can't get into sexual relations right now. So she says she needs a little more time and a little space. He said, "From me, from you, Hollywood." Not a whole lot. He don't want her to move out or anything like that. It's not that deep. But she just allow her some time, some space to get over this thing with this boy, Jimmy Dale. All right. Nova and Octavia split. They have it out when because Nova overheard that conversation when she stepped on that job offer, and she lets her know that I've outgrown you to Octavia. Octavia's talking all what she's done, how she's made her. You doing what you're doing because of me. It was all me. She says, "You know what? I've outgrown you. I no longer need you." She doesn't seem at all. She doesn't feel like an abused person though. Remember, this was her professor. So she said she was her first. I don't know if she means it's her first relationship or her first relationship with a woman. Whichever it is, that time has passed now. We are competing on the same stage, and I don't need you anymore. So they split. They hug, but they split. It's over. All right, Prosper, Mr. Prosper, and he asked his girlfriend maybe his ex-girlfriend, whatever, this lady, on a date. They want to cook, and I believe they're going to hook them two up because they both seem very enamored with each other. They're all in the same age bracket, and now they're going on the date. I'm not sure if the date, I think the date was cooking, for him to cook for her or something like that. Anyway, so Prosper's getting a little life breathing to him. Next thing we see is they're at Charlie's headquarters. Very fortunate that Charlie has money because she's able to kick off her campaign with her own headquarters and all that. But I guess fundraising is all that's going to be a part of it as well. Anyway, this is the office is just opening. They're preparing for her first speech, and someone throws a brick through the window. Then they say, she of course thinks this has got to be the Landrys. For a moment, it shook her up. She's concerned about other people that could have been hurt in that place, or that could have been just as easy been a stick of dynamite. But the Landrys apparently are trying to dissuade her. Her boyfriend, forget his name for the moment, her boyfriend talks her down because he was kind of skeptical. He knew how dangerous this could be. But now he's saying, no, you have got to fight now. You're in it. You're in it to win it. And she goes on with her plans. Nova calls Charlie's answering service to congratulate her. She's very happy that Charlie is running city council. She loves their community, St. Joe. She's very happy that her sister's running for it. Nova is very lonely at this point. She's alienated herself from virtually everybody. And now even this girlfriend of hers is out of the picture. So now she's all alone. She calls her sister, tells her she loves her, and congratulates her on the work she'll be doing for their community. Right? But she doesn't talk to Charlie herself. She talks to the answering service. Last thing we see. Okay. Charlie gives her first speech. All right, so everyone's there for Charlie's first speech when she's announcing her running officially, including that reluctant pastor of the Latin people's church and community. They're all there. She gives a good speech. She sounds a little bit like Barack Obama. I don't know why, but it just seems like it. She acted that role very well. It's just a couple minute speech, but that's where we left it. All right, folks. Okay, so I love this show. This one didn't have as much drama in it, but I just enjoyed this show, and I'll talk to you again about it next week.